Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Biolab, and this is Vamsi here at Biolab. So in today's video we will be discussing about eye, but before that I have to tell you one thing. Before sense organs, before starting sense organs, I have missed one of the topics, that is reflex arc and reflex action mechanism. I will be doing it, after this sense organs completed, the last of the at the ending of the chapter I'll be doing it. Means today we'll be completing eye and mechanism of vision, and tomorrow's lecture we'll be doing ear and mechanism of hearing. Next, after that video I'll be doing about reflex arc and reflex action. That is a 10 minutes video. It is very simple, we'll be learning about it. And in today's video we'll be talking about the eye. Yes, I have already completed the diagram of eye here. It is some typically basic eye. I somewhat managed to get that diagram. So in today's video, let's start about the eye without any further ado. So let us start with the functions of eye. What are the functions of eye? There is vision. Vision is the function of eye. Vision is the function of eye. It is the basic function. Eye performs the function of vision. It senses the light. It can sense the light. Okay. Next one. Let's move on to the basic parts of the eye. We'll be talking about some of the basic parts. This is in detailed diagram of the eye, and now we'll be talking about some of the basic parts of eye that we have seen in our lower classes. So starting with the basic parts, the first one, here are your basic parts. Okay, black is ink. I don't know what is happening to this marker, so let me try to take my blue marker if I have ink in it. Let us see. Yes, some basic, yes, it is working. Basic parts of the eye. Let us see some of the basic parts of the eye. I will be showing them in the diagram too. Then I will be explaining it parallelly. So the first basic part of the eye which we have learnt is our cornea. Our cornea, or you can also take eye lens. Okay, first one, let us take eye lens. Since it's very important, we are taking eye lens. Okay, eye lens. So now this eye lens, is it concave or convex lens? Yes, it is convex lens. Okay, it is bulged on both the sides. See this one. This one. That is your eye lens. So it is convex in nature. Convex in nature. What it does? It helps the image to fall on the retina. This eye lens helps the image to fall on the retina. As it is magnified, erect, inverted, we will be talking about it when we are talking about retina. Okay, so that is the eye lens. So another second part that we have seen is cornea. Cornea, the second basic part. See, it is the bulge. It is the bulged part on the anterior part of the eye. This is your cornea. This is your cornea. This bulged part on the anterior part of the eye. So now what it does is, so this cornea helps in accommodating this whole eye structure. Here we have the aqueous humor, and it is called as aqueous chamber, and that helps in internal reflection. So the light enters the eye through cornea. Remember this. The eye enters the, sorry, what I am talking. The light enters the eye through cornea. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just adjust the slide. The slide is so. So yes, let's continue now. This is the cornea. The light enters the eye. Light enters the eye through cornea. We have learned it. It is just a transparent layer. And now, if you close your eye and you touch the top part of it, you can feel that bulge. So that bulge part is your cornea. Now, this light enters into the eye through cornea. We have already discussed in our lower classes about this. Now, next thing is our iris. Iris. So this is your colored substance of our eye. So see that black colored substance of my eye. So that is your iris. That is called our iris. Okay, see that black colored substance of the eye. That is the, it is the colored substance of the eye. Okay, it is iris, it is the colored substance of the eye. Okay, now please make a note of this. Please make a note of this. If you want, you can draw the diagram, but I will not be erasing the diagram. I will be keeping it like that until we complete this parts of eye, the basic introduction to eye. So please make a note of this and this. Come on, pause the video, please make a note. I am going to remove that. Please make a note fast. Very important, guys, very important. These are your basic parts. Still we have to talk about the basic part. Ciliary muscles, pupil. So this is your pupil, this is your iris. So iris regulates the size of pupil. What is the function of pupil then? Through that the light passes into the next parts of the eye. See, all light that is falling our eye will not get into will not get into the retina in order to form the images, but only some part of the eye light is made to fall on the retina. That is because of this pupil, ciliary muscles, iris, etc. Okay, ciliary muscles and etc. So these ciliary muscles, they are attached to the eyelids. They adjust the size of the eyelids. Okay, I haven't shown you ciliary muscles since in our NCERT it is not given. Let me try to draw those ciliary bodies, right? So these are your ciliary muscles. Okay, they adjust the size of the this eyelids in order to focus on some part. If it is far away, they adjust the eyelid. If it is near to closer, they adjust the size for the eyelids. So that is the function of ciliary muscles. I am talking about each and every function here only, so that after completing this, we will be directly diving into the topic which is present in our NCERT. So that is the function of ciliary muscles, that is the function of iris. Pupil, it regulates the amount of light entering into the eye. How to see your when you see your iris, this black colored part, inside that black colored part there is another small circle. Small circle is present. So you can see that. You can see that very clearly. So let me try to show. This is your iris, for suppose, and in between it you will be able to see a small colored substance. Colored means it will be light in contrast. If our iris is light colored, like a brown color, the pupil may be dark brown in color. So like that we have some of the colors. So no need for us. So that is the pupil that regulates the amount of light entering into the eye. Okay, got it. And that amount is regulated by iris muscles. See, if these are your iris muscles, in between is the pupil. Okay, this is your pupil. Now, in order to regulate the amount of light entering into it, if I want more light to enter, what I do is these iris muscles contract like this. They expand, so that there is more space for the pupil. and more light is entering into the eye. Now if I just press them, if I just press them, the pupil size reduces and less amount of light enters into the eye. So those are your basic parts of the eye. Hope you have noted them down. Now we will be moving on to the topic present in our NCERT about the detailed nature of the eye. Okay, about the detailed nature of the eye. These all are so small child problems. So let's do that detailed nature of the eye. Basically, the eye wall is consisting of three layers. What is the wall of the eye? So this one. See, not just inner parts. Sorry, not these inner parts. Close these inner parts. Remaining part, which includes this what to say? Yeah, the area which is enclosed by these walls contains the parts. Now I am closing these parts, and the enclosure is seen. Close these parts and see this enclosure. So that enclosure is the wall of the eye. Now it contains three layers. Okay, let us write that one. The wall of the eye contains three layers, or is made up of three layers. You can write anyway. Okay, three layers. What are they? One, the outermost layer. I am coming from outside to inside. So this is the direction which we will be following here. Outside to inside. Now the outermost layer is known as sclera. The outermost layer of the eye is known as sclera. So outermost layer is sclera. So see this. This is your sclera. This is your sclera. Now anteriorly this sclera itself gets bulged and forms the cornea. Got it? How this cornea is formed? From which layer is this cornea from? Sclera. The anterior part of the sclera forms a bulged structure called as cornea. Got it? Yes. So this sclera forms the anterior bulge called as the cornea. Next, after sclera, the middle layer, it is called as choroid. See this one. This one. This is sclera. This is choroid. So this choroid this is your middle layer, choroid. This choroid is your middle layer. It is present in between the retina of the eye and sclera of the eye. The sclera anteriorly forms cornea. The choroid anteriorly forms ciliary bodies. This choroid anteriorly forms ciliary bodies. These ciliary bodies give rise to ciliary muscles. So see this, one here, one here. This is the anterior part, this is the posterior part. Look the anterior part, here, here. These are your ciliary bodies. They are coming from, they are the derivatives of choroid. Anterior part of the choroid gives rise to ciliary bodies. Now, the third layer. The third layer is the most important layer, that is the innermost layer called as the retina. Retina. The innermost layer called as the retina. Where is retina? Shows. So see this dark colored portion which I have highlighted with the black marker is your retina. So where I have written it, retina here. So this is your retina. This is your retina. Okay, this retina helps in the formation of image. This retina helps in the formation of image. It forms inverted image, not erect image like this what we are seeing. it forms upside down. If you are seeing a man, you think that you are seeing him erect. No, you are seeing him upside down. In the place of legs, you have to assume head, and in the place of head, you have to assume legs. So like this, you will be the retina which is formed. The image which is formed on the retina is like this: face down, legs up, upright. You can also say it as inverted image. So like that, this retina. Now how we are able to see, how we are able to see how we are able to see the erect image. So our brain interprets the image, and it says, okay, this is an erect image which is formed in our brain. The erect image is formed in our brain, and inverted image is formed on the retina. So these are the layers. Please make a note: sclera, choroid, retina. Sclera, it is the outermost layer. Choroid, it is the middle layer. The retina is your inner layer. So got them? Very clear? Very clear? And another point I have missed it. Sclera, it is the dense connective tissue. Okay, it is the dense connective tissue. Sclera, it is formed with the dense connective tissue. Okay, got it? Got it? Very clear? Please make a note of it. Now we will be moving on to retina. So we will be having most of the discussing this topic on retina itself, that how this retina makes the images, how it senses the images. So all that we will be having more of the discussion on this retina. So going back to some the previous video, not this previous video, the former videos, I have told you that this retina is made up of bipolar neurons. In the neural structure we have talked about it. This retina has bipolar neurons. So I will be telling you those bipolar neurons also. So now let's move on to retina. On erasing this diagram also, please pause the video, make the diagram, write these, and I haven't written on the board much. I have spoke. So if you haven't understand, please make sure you go backwards, or backward it. Backward it. Okay, not forward, backward it, and then watch it, and then come to the next part, retina. Okay. So I am erasing them. In the eye, we will be talking about retina now. And what is this retina? Everything we will be talking about. Come on. Let's talk about the retina. It is the innermost layer. Retina is your innermost layer of the eye, innermost layer of the eyeball. You can say we have seen it. Now this retina is containing 3 layers of neural cells. There are 3 layers of neural cells. Now I am writing these neural cells from inside to outside. Please make sure the direction is very important. In the previous, thing, when we are discussing the layers of the walls of eye, I have told you from outside to inside. Now I am telling you from inside to outside. So let's write from inside. Okay. Inside to outside. We will be discussing all the 3 layers of this retina, the neural cells here, from inside to outside. The innermost layer of cells which is present in the retina is called as ganglion cells. They are the innermost cells. See, I am showing you here. Say for suppose these are your ganglion cells. They are just suppose I have told you. Okay, they are your ganglion cells. Not they are not like that, but in order to understand their position, I am telling you like that. So now the second part is your bipolar cells. Yeah, bipolar neural cells. Bipolar neural cells. Bipolar cells. It is the middle layer. So middle one. Here one axon, one by cell body, one dendrite. So like this. Hope you are able to see it. See. These are your bipolar cells. Bipolar cells. Ganglion cells, bipolar cells. Ganglion cells, bipolar cells. Ganglion cells, bipolar cells. Now, the last part or last cell is your photoreceptor cells. Photoreceptors. And now these photoreceptors are again of two types here. One rods, two cones. We'll be seeing the functions of these rods and cones a little while after this one. So these receptors are of two parts. One rods and two cones. Now see this. I am showing you cones first of all. These are your cones. Here let us draw rod. Rod shaped, cone shaped, rod shaped, cone shaped. They can be any pattern. I am following this alternate pattern. Okay. So see, ganglion cells, bipolar cells, bipolar neurons, photoreceptors. Cone shaped, rod shaped, cone shaped, rod shaped, cone shaped, rod shaped. These are your photoreceptors. They recept towards light. They recept towards your light. So this is your outer part. This is your outer part. So yeah, these are your rods and cones. They are your photoreceptor cells. This is the outside. This is your inside. Outside to inside. So light is entering in this direction. So that is why there are photoreceptor cells on the outside each here. So see this. Light is entering. 1 minute to hope it is more exposed. So if you understand. See, light is entering in this direction. So that is why there are the photoreceptor cells on the outside. On the outside, in order to recept towards light. In order to recept towards light. Light enters the eye through cornea, passes the pupil. Passes the aqueous humor. There refraction of light takes place. It passes through the pupil. From pupil, it passes through the vitreous chamber, where again the refraction takes place. After that, it falls on the retina. When it falls on the retina, these are the first cells, the photoreceptor cells, which recept towards light and they generate nerve impulses and they conduct through this one, bipolar neurons, ganglion cells to the brain, towards the brain. You have to understand this. So these are the three types of cells or cell layers which are present in our retina. Now we will be talking about the functions of rods and cones. Now we will be talking about the functions of rods and cones. Please make a note of this. Okay, now let's move on. Now let's move on to the functions of rods and cones. Photoreceptors. Now we will be talking about photoreceptors. I am afraid that we will be not having enough time for completing the mechanism of vision. So again one more video for that. So that is why what I will do is, what to do, nothing to do. On the next lecture, I'll be talking about mechanism of vision. I'll not tell you this one. I'm afraid because mechanism of vision takes less time. But if I want to explain it more, then it takes more time. So I'm afraid to tell you that I'll be completing ear and mechanism in the next video. So that is why a little confusion. So I'm thinking about that. Okay, now let's move on to this. Functions of rods and cones. Please write it. Please put the side heading. Functions of rods and cones. These are the photoreceptor cell types. Types of photoreceptors, rods and cones. Now let's see the first function of let's see the functions of cones, then we'll be seeing the functions of rods. See, these cones are the sites for sensing cones. They sense daylight. They are able to sense daylight. Means when there is light, these cones work. If the light is some red color and some blue color, some green color, so like that different types of colors of light enter into our eye. So those colors of light are sensed by this cones. They sense the daylight, and that is why they are called as phototopic light. Okay, vision and color vision are sensed by cones, are the functions of cones. So now let's move on to the function of rods. For rods, if they sense the daylight, if they sense the colored light, what they sense? They sense the dim light, or you can also say dark. They can sense in the dark. If you are put into some dark room, 1 minute, let me off the lights and show you. Now one light is off. Other light is also off. So I am still able to see some of the light here. So that is the function of rods. Okay, 1 minute. That is the function of rods. That is the function of rods. They can sense in the dark. Okay, they have dim light. They can sense the dim light, or twill light. You can also call it twill light vision. These rods contain red protein called as rhodopsin or visual purple, which contains derivative of vitamin A. Yeah, our eye possesses vitamin A, and that vitamin A is very important for our vision. So that vitamin A is present in the rods itself. That vitamin A is present in the rods as they contain a red colored protein called as the visual purple or rhodopsin. Rhodopsin or visual purple. Important. This is a derivative of vitamin A. That is why vitamin A is very important for our sight and vision. Okay? Clear? Clear, guys? Yes, these now how this colored light is sensed, we have a small mechanism. When this color light is produced onto our eye, when it falls on the retina, this cone starts stimulating the you can also tell it as some secretions or photopigments. They have photopigments. The cones have photopigments in order to sense the colored light. So when this light falls on the retina, this cone starts secreting, or this photopigments start reacting, stimulating the nerve impulses towards that light, towards that color light. But when there is a white light falling on our eye, all the photopigments act simultaneously and they secrete all they secrete the photopigments, all the you can say all the cones. So they respond to white light very important. Now by blind spot, I have shown you some here near the optic nerve, and this all information is carried towards the brain through the optic nerve. This all information is carried towards the brain through the optic nerve. I have showed you, if you remember the previous diagram, I have showed you a small spot called as blind spot, and that blind spot is just before the optic nerve, and if the light falls on that blind spot, it cannot be sensed. It cannot be sensed. Okay, blind spot is that way. That is why it is called as blind spot. So that is it, guys, for this video. In the next video, we will be talking about mechanism of vision and ear also. So these are your functions and basic introduction to eye, parts of the eye, etc., etc. In the next video, as I said, we will be talking about the vision. Okay, mechanism of vision. So this is Vamsi signing off. If you like the video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel Biolab. And this is Vamsi signing off from Biolab. And yeah, that is it. Have a great day further. Thank you, guys. If you haven't understand any topic, please mention the time. Like if you haven't understand here, it is 30 to 15 seconds. You mention like this, put a hyphen, I did not understand this part. Write in the comment box below so that I will be able to respond. You are not commenting, guys, please do comment, then only I will be understanding if there are any suggestions, if I have said something wrong. Okay, so those all I will be able to understand them. So please do it. So this is Vamsi signing off. Have a great day further. Thank you, guys.